is now 6:06. Good evening and welcome to the Monday, March 9, 2020, 6 p.m. Successor Agency meeting of the Bell Gardens City Council. The meeting will now come to order. Tonight's invocation will be given by Pastor Reinaldo Leal, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Girl Scouts Troop 2543.
Good evening, Mayor, first the councilman and councilwoman, our chief, our fine city staff, and all the citizens. Let us pray not only for our city, but also for our country, our world. We're living in very difficult times with this coronavirus. And let us remember that our hope is in God, in Jesus, which promised not to leave us. So let us bow our heads and let us come before Him. Father, we just want to thank You for the opportunity to give us to stand before You. Thank You that You give me the opportunity to present our leaders. Thank You for each one of them. May You guide them. May Your Spirit be upon them. Father, we pray also for our nation, for our government, and for the rest of the nations that are being affected by this virus. Father, may Your presence and Your Spirit, and may You help us. May You help every country. May You help our United States of America. We ask this in the name of Jesus. Can we say amen? Amen.
Please fly, which your right hand over your heart, and say it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Agency Secretary, will you please call roll the successor agency?
Yes, Madam Chair. Agency member Successor.
Present.
Barcena.
Present.
Vice Chair Flores has an excused absence, and Chair Cortez.
Present. Public participation is now open. Agency Secretary, have any speaker cards been submitted?
Not for this item, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's no objection by the successor agency, I will now close public participation. Moving on to consent calendar, does any member of the agency wish to pull any item for separate discussion? Seeing none, I'll move to approve the items on the consent calendar. May I have a second? Second by Councilmember Barcena. Any objections? Seeing none, the consent calendar passes unanimously. Do we have any speaker cards for this portion of the public participation?
We do not, Mayor.
Thank you. If there's no objection by the agency, I will now close public participation. Now moving on to agency member comments. Does any member of the successor agency wish to make a comment? Okay. If there's no objection by the successor agency, I will now adjourn the successor agency and call to order the City Council meeting. Good evening and welcome to the Monday, March 9, 2020, 6 p.m. regular meeting of the Bell Gardens City Council. The meeting will now come to order. City Clerk, will you please call roll of the City Council?
Council members Successor.
Present.
Barcena.
Present.
And Mayor Pro Tem Flores is under an excused absence, and Mayor Cortez.
Present. City Attorney, will you please give the closed session report?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. The records reflect that the City Council recessed in the closed session of those members present to discuss items 1 through 3 as posted on tonight's agenda. With respect to all of the items, the City Council received briefing from staff, direction was given, but no final action was taken tonight in closed session. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney. Now we're moving on to our presentation for tonight. City Manager, will you please introduce the presentation?
Thank you, Mayor Cortez. In recognition of March being Women's History Month, we have a proclamation to designate the month as such on behalf of the City Council.
Yes, thank you. First, I do want to thank staff for this initiative and bringing this to our council. I'm all for celebrating our women, so thank you so much for that. Without further ado, the City of Bell Gardens Proclamation. Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways. American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, and social roles in every sphere of life in the nation, by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside the home. American women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing the majority of the volunteer labor force of the nation. American women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation. American women of every race, class, and ethnic background served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive and social change movement. They have served our country courageously and in the military. American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements, especially the peace movement, which created a more fair and just society for all. Despite these contributions, the role of American women in history has been consistently overlooked and undervalued in literature, teaching, study of American history. Now therefore, let it be resolved that I, Alejandra Cortez, Mayor of the City of Bell Garden, with the City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of March as Women's History Month in the City of Bell Garden. And I encourage all citizens to celebrate, support, value, and respect all women. And today I do want to bring forward our explorers who will be receiving this proclamation and their advisors. If they could please come forward. Round of applause for them. And the reason why I selected this group of women is because they show grit, they show resiliency, they stuck to our Explorer program, and sometimes they go above and beyond their male counterparts. So I am extremely proud of them. I've been able to attend some of their trainings. Just the other day we did UI practice with Ms. Michelle, and it's always amazing to see their work and to see how they're out in their community representing us, and especially representing us females. And it takes such courage to go into fields where women may not necessarily be the majority. So I want to commend you for that, and I want to hopefully that you continue to pursue this path in law enforcement. And our future female Chief of Police, I'm looking forward to that and seeing that in the next couple of years. So you could just briefly introduce yourself, each one in the mic, and just say maybe how old you are, what grade you are in, and if you have a title or role within our Explorers.
Hello, my name is Explorer Hernandez Asman. I'm 16 years old and I have been in the Explorer program for 3 years now.
Good evening, my name is Michelle Villalpando, and I have been in the Explorers for 4 years.
Hello everyone, I'm Clara Fogle. I just became an Explorer in December and I'm 20 years old.
Hi, my name is Dina Michelle. I'm a new recruit and I'm 17 years old.
Hello everyone, my name is Marcus Santana, and I just graduated the Explorer Academy on December and I'm 16 years old. Hi everyone, my name is Explorer Kena Rivera, and I really graduated on December, and I'm 15 years old.
So thank you so much. So if you want to come up here to please receive the proclamation. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Okay, at this point, we're going to go ahead and open public participation. City Clerk, do we have any speaker cards for this portion?
There are no speaker cards for this portion, Mayor.
Thank you. If there is no objection by the City Council, I will now go ahead and close public participation. City Manager, will you please give your report?
Thank you, Mayor Cortez. I'd just like to briefly report on 4 items. One, an important new hire. The city has hired an HR manager, Richard Knott. The council met Mr. Knott in closed session this evening. He replaces Nick Rotho, who recently left to go work for City of Montebello. I wanted to talk about Census 2020. We've been talking about this for the last 6 to 8 months, and it's really finally here. There's been a lot of work by city staff, by council members, by the community, the complete count committee. The census forms are going to be mailed out and should arrive in people's houses by starting this Thursday. They have until final deadline of July 31st to turn it in. The census enumerators will be out in May. The city staff will continue doing the work during this time period, effectively ramping up the work. There was recently some Naleo employee trained the trainer. We had 35 employees trained as trainers for the census. I want to make note, tomorrow is the census community information gathering at Ross Hall. For anybody that's here, you're welcome to come. It's from 6 p.m. You're encouraged to come from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to play a game called Censoteria. It's like Loteria, but it'll help you understand the census and help get you comfortable with it. We'll be having fun people saying coffee, things of that nature. So come out even in the rain if possible. There is a complete count.
Could you give us the date?
Oh, sure. It is tomorrow, March 10th. March 10th at Ross Hall at Veterans Park. There'll be fun people saying coffee.
I got that part.
Okay. Also, we're going to have kiosks at Veterans Park, Ford Park, City Hall. Those are expected to be up and running at the end of this week or early next week. There's going to be additional continued outreach and marketing material that you'll start seeing over the next few months. I want to just make a note on the coronavirus staff monitoring situation. We're involved in the LA County Area E. There's a regular conference call. There's going to be weekly briefings. So we're keeping an eye on that, watching what the LA County Department of Public Health is doing, and we're reporting on social media as soon as we get information from the Department of Public Health. And the last item, in case there's any question or misunderstanding, the appointment deadline the application deadline for council seat appointment is tomorrow, March 10th at 5 p.m. And so with that, I thank you, Mayor Cortez.
Thank you, City Manager. Great update. Now moving on to consent calendar, I'll go ahead and I want to go ahead and table item number 7 to the next City Council meeting. With that in mind, does anybody else wish to pull any items from the consent calendar? Okay, seeing that, may I have a motion to approve all the items with the exception of item number 7, which will be moved to the next council meeting?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Barton, second by Councilmember Aceituno. With that, consent calendar carried. Moving on to discussion item number 12, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Cortez. Just to circle back on background on this, back during the budget process, it was recognized that there has not been an Independence Day celebration in the state of El Garden for a number of years. In the past, there would be a pyrotechnic fireworks show along with other events. There was $50,000 included in this year's budget for an Independence Day event. Upon reviewing the cost of pyrotechnic display, that will run you about $45,000 to $50,000 for a 10-minute display. And along with the council's recent banning of fireworks, legal or illegal, staff has sought to create something similar to a pyrotechnic show, but at approximately 60% of the cost and with the same feel. And I think before I turn it over to Roseanne, this is a chance after not having an event for a number of years to come back with a strong event, but that is admittedly different, but still has the same feel of a pyrotechnic show. So with that, I'll turn it over to our Recreation Community Services Director, Adalto.
Thank you, City Manager, Mayor Cortez, and City Council. The report before you again reiterates on January 27th, the Council took action to hold the Independence Day celebration on Saturday, July 4th, 2020 at Bell Gardens Veterans Park. As directed, staff took a look at some alternatives to having a pyrotechnic display. Some research went into it. We did quite a bit, and we determined that a new and creative way of celebrating the 4th would be to conduct a drone show, which would involve anywhere from 250 to 300 drones in the air simultaneously. That would create displays of simulating fireworks, choreographed to contemporary patriotic music. It would also give us a chance to create displays in the sky, such as the Statue of Liberty, and the flag and other patriotic symbols. So, also, we have a number of activities that we have planned. We are looking at doing a musical stage entertainment, family games such as a cornhole tournament, water balloon pie-eating contest, three-legged races, stack races, tug-of-war, face painting, and much, much more. We're also giving an opportunity to our local nonprofits to have a food booth there, so it would be definitely a community-wide event to be enjoyed by all. Again, it's family-oriented, and we just would like everybody to come out and have a good time. The event would take place between 5 and 9:30 p.m. That's what one of the drones looks like, except that it has lights configured with different colors. I have a very short drone presentation. So that gives you a real brief preview of what we could expect if the council so wishes to move in this direction. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that presentation. I really appreciate you guys putting this together. If I understand correctly, this is going to be a show that will last twice as long as an actual fireworks show?
That is correct. It's a 20-minute choreographed to music show.
And it will also be about half of the cost of that, right?
Close to it, about 60% as the city manager mentioned.
Now, does that mean that we're going to be able to use the rest of the money to enhance our event in other ways? And if so, what are we planning to do with that extra money?
Definitely. We do have some bands lined up for entertainment. We'll have Uncle Sam's Stilt Walkers and a number of more activities to engage the community. We're also looking at ways to do a park and ride so that we can get residents into the area and not, because parking is limited to a certain extent in that area. So we'll be using the additional funds for those type of things. We are also looking at glow-in-the-dark giveaways and promotional items that will be given to the community for free. And so, there'll be awards, and we'll have trophies and other types of medals to award the children as well as the adults who participate. We are incorporating family competitions and just more of like a family-oriented, old-fashioned picnic with entertainment of all varieties.
Thank you for that information. One thing that I would like to do is involve our sports leagues, especially our youth leagues. I know in talking to some of the people that run these types of drone shows that they're equipped with the ability to display logos in the sky. So if there will be a way to maybe put the team logos on there for each one of our participants, or at least a few of them, whoever's interested, I think that would be a great way to involve all of our sports teams.
Yeah, we could definitely explore that, depending on the number, but we could definitely explore it. Maybe something that would encompass all of the youth sports, maybe sports figures of baseball, football, soccer, and incorporating it that way. So we do have some ideas in mind. Pending council approval, we'll be meeting with the drone show contractor to develop the show and input music. So if there's any music you'd like to hear that night, we can also incorporate that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Roseanne, for giving us a different option. I know last time we didn't like the option so much, but I think this one, at least with all the different components, and I think it's so innovative to bring something different, and also going along with the fact that we ban fireworks in the city of Bell Gardens, so we also have to do our part to keep that at a minimum. Although we know that, people are still going to be doing what they have to do. But I think this is a great alternative. I really like the idea, and also just having a more complete event with other components added to it. We're still going with the 4th of July date, correct?
Yes.
And so you said this time frame is from
5 to 9:30.
5 to 9:30. Yeah, and then also just looking at the numbers for what a fireworks show would actually cost, this is maybe a little over half of what that cost would be. So I like the idea, and I believe we should move forward.
Well, let me just say that I'm still a fan of the fireworks. So I do like the added features of involving the community in a picnic type environment. So what would be the total cost for such an event?
We're estimating that once we pay for the drone show, we're going to be at about $42,000 for the entire event.
And does that include our staff time, or does not include that?
Our full-time staff will be accounted for. It'll be part-time staff, but we do have staffing hours for that. The 42 would be for contract work, such as hiring the bands, rental of equipment because we want to get a full-on stage, and for other types of giveaways and things that we will be purchasing as far as supplies for the event.
Have we looked at the day before, July 3rd, as a cost factor? Do we have a savings if we were to go on a Friday night versus Saturday?
I believe the drone show would be pretty close to, and I'm not sure. When the decision was made to have it on the 4th, that was the date we gave them. I would have to check to see if the 3rd would make any effect on whether it would be a little bit lower. But as far as the hard cost of the entertainment and rentals, those are pretty fixed, whether you have it on the 3rd or the 4th.
I wonder, Roseanne, if maybe we make a commitment to the council here, we'll check on potential cost savings. If the cost savings are more than 10%, we bring this item back to council in 2 weeks, if that doesn't put us in jeopardy of,
Or Mike, would we be able to give direction that we approve the item on the contingency that we check the prices for July 3rd, and then staff picks the one that's less costly?
I think some airports, the only reason I'm assigning the percentage to it is I think there was some detailed discussion over the 3rd or the 4th, just from, and I think the 4th was selected for, I don't recall all of the reasons. It seemed like it was a better day for a number of reasons. So I would suggest maybe saying unless the cost is more than 5 or 10%, that you stick with July 4th.
If I may, I believe having worked in recreation for many years, one of my main concerns will be the buy-in from the community, the commitment of the community coming to our event on the 4th. Because a lot of families, they plan their events on that day, and they're not really paying attention to what's going on in the city. I'm not saying that's going to happen this year, but that's also the reason why I'm trying to see if there's a buy-in from our sports leagues, because I know if they commit, they're already thinking ahead, and if they're going to be showing their logo or anything else that you may come up with, I think that will secure the attendance to the event in a way that makes it a successful event. So to me, the concern is not so much a small savings. I just want to make sure that this event is well attended and that we're able to engage the community in a proper way.
Yeah, so I know we gave direction last time on the July 4th, but would there be any way for us to possibly change that date, considering all the new factors? And also, yes, as Councilmember Barcelona mentioned that day, there is just such a number of events that perhaps at the time we didn't consider that might affect the turnout.
We could most definitely change it to the 3rd. That's not a problem. If that is the pleasure of the council to move it to the 3rd, we could definitely do that. We held off on assigning any of the entertainment until we had a full contract and knew which direction we were going in. So to conduct a program on the 3rd is absolutely no problem at all. We have a deadline, I believe, in the first week of April to get the information out to our publication and whatnot. We want to go full force with the publicity. So if it's the desire of council to move it to the 3rd, we're okay with that too.
So Roseanne, let me ask you this, because it seems like there's enough variables here that we could potentially bring this back in 2 weeks. Unless time is of the essence and we lose the contractor, somebody else books him. I thought as we go back, see if the 3rd or 4th, if it's cheaper on the 3rd, what are the pros and cons, non-cost wise, to having it on the 3rd, and then we can come back to council with the final information. I think that makes the most sense if we're not going to have an issue with the contractor.
That I don't know, but I did indicate to him that we would have an answer for him tomorrow. So I don't know if that's going to be an
So
issue.
I think, Councilmember Martinez, would you feel comfortable if we just move it to the 3rd and we proceed with that date, regardless of the cost factor, and hopefully there is a savings?
I'm fine with that.
Councilmember Barcelona?
I'm fine with that, just as long as it doesn't interfere with any plans that are already in place for Saturday.
Okay, and I think I'm fine with that, that way we could go ahead and move with, so I'll go ahead and move. So it's gonna be a 2-part, Rick. So I'll go ahead and move A to move the event for 3rd of July. And then B to approve or to give direction,
Yes.
to give city managers, to allow city managers to enter into agreement with David O'Neill Drone Light Show Company, resolution number 2020-20. So I move, may I have a second?
Okay.
Second, is there any objection by the council? Seeing none, the motion carries. City Clerk, we're moving on to the last section of public participation. Do we have any speaker cards?
Yes, we do, Mayor. We have 4 speaker cards.
Thank you. The members of the audience will now have an opportunity to speak on matters under jurisdiction of the City Council. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes, subject to an overall 30-minute time period. Please address your comments to myself and the City Council, and observe the rules of decorum appropriate in the council chamber. State law prohibits the City Council from discussing any item not appearing on the posted City Council agenda. Iman?
Go ahead, sir.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace and blessings of God be with you all. Respected brothers and sisters, today I am here to convey an important message and hope that you listen to it with open heart. Our Christian brothers and sisters have been waiting for the second advent of the Messiah for 2,000 years. In the Bible, there are mentioned many signs of the time when the Messiah was supposed to come, like sinfulness, too many diseases, deaths, earthquakes, wars, lunar and solar eclipse, etc. A question arises, naturally, why did God want to punish us with these if He is merciful? Secondly, according to Acts 3:23 and Deuteronomy 18:19, God punishes when a messenger of God comes and we don't listen to him. But if that messenger hasn't come yet, how could God punish us? But if we have already been punished by 340 earthquakes, 21 epidemic diseases, 140 floods, and 31 wars during last century, causing 352 million deaths, it means that the messenger came, but we did not listen to him. So today, this humble servant of the promised Messiah is to inform you respectfully that the second advent of Jesus has taken place. Secondly, the coming prophet mentioned in Malachi was Elijah, not John the Baptist. But Elijah never came, and Jesus said that John is Elijah. And this is an interpretation given by Jesus himself. He says, "For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John, and if you are willing to accept it, he is Elijah who is to come. He who has ears to hear, let him hear." Matthew 11:13-15. It means that Jesus believed in and taught the metaphorical advent of Elijah in the person of John the Baptist, not the same Elijah. How then can we go against Jesus' decision in his own case? Why we have to wait for the same Jesus? Jesus himself cannot come if Elijah came metaphorically. Listen, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, India, has come metaphorically in place of Jesus, who founded the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in 1889 by the divine commandment and claimed to be the promised Messiah in 1890 in Qadian in India. For more information, you can visit our website alislam.org, and my number for more information is 202-779-3676. Thank you very much.
Ms. Christine Dimas? And Ms. Dimas, I do notice that you have 2 cards, but I can only allocate you 1 time period.
I think one was an error.
I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce a community member by the name of Christina Palo. And I'm hoping that she'll be the next City Council person working alongside you. Ms. Palo and her family are residents of 40 years here in Bell Gardens. In that time, Ms. Palo has attended the Montebello Unified School District here in Bell Gardens. Ms. Palo and her son's father are currently raising their son in the city. As a strong parental partnership, they prepare their son for graduation this year and life. She is teaching her son the value of giving back to the community. They currently volunteer at the law. They also participate in collecting donations for TLC Foundation, which serves the Downey community and the students of the Downey Unified School District. Also, they volunteer their time with the Compton Initiative. The Compton Initiative is an organization that partners with businesses that beautify the community, tutors the youth, and clean graffiti and clear trash from empty lots. Since 2007, she has worked with the County of Los Angeles in various capacities that will help her make critical decisions for the city of Bell Gardens. She has experience in public emergency training. She has procured supplies needed for public libraries
And for her managers, she has researched long-term effects on how budgets can affect not only departments that she works in, but also the community at large. Ms. Powell represents the type of diversity that the city needs to be successful. She is loved by her neighbors, and on top of all the bullet points that I've shared with you, she makes an ideal appointment. She has provided a means for the public to voice their concerns regarding the city. She is the administrator to a Facebook page called Bell Gardens Uncensored. She created this platform so she can have a voice as well. In fact, recently, a council person used her platform to address concerns to the public. This platform is appreciated by those individuals that cannot attend council meetings, but later observe through social media. I urge you to consider Christina Palo, the City of Bell Gardens next council person. Thank you for your time.
Rogelio Rodriguez.
Mi nombre es Rogelio Rodríguez. Voy a tocar el mismo tema de lo que le hemos pedido a ustedes, que pongan en la boleta si nuestra comunidad está de acuerdo en traer marihuana a nuestra comunidad o no. Pero ustedes persisten en traerla porque han sido nulos en contestarnos. Marco mencionó en el meeting pasado, insinuando que si la ciudad tenía bajos recursos posibles, tenía la posibilidad de traer la marihuana a nuestra comunidad. Creo que son inteligentes. No queremos tener niños adictos a los 12, 13 años y que después no tengan los cerebros secos, así como los tienen ustedes. Porque la mera verdad no entienden. Me da gusto que el padre de uno esté aquí, la madre de otro esté aquí para que oigan exactamente lo que le estamos pidiendo. Le estamos pidiendo que pongan la boleta en noviembre, que venga para que la comunidad decida si quieren marihuana o no la quieren. Ustedes ya no han puesto eso, porque uno de los mentores, cierta persona que está aquí, es la que trae muchos negocios alrededor de nuestras comunidades. Y ahora quiero que uno de ustedes me diga, ¿cuál diferencia han visto en esas ciudades que venden marihuana? ¿Qué han visto ustedes? Lo único que van a ver ustedes en el futuro es puros niños destruidos, puros niños adictos. Y esas personas nunca han dicho nada de poner centros de rehabilitación para los adictos. No queremos ser una comunidad de estúpidos, queremos una comunidad inteligente con cerebro, pero ustedes van a traer porque el cerebro se seque como se caen ustedes.
At this point, if there's no objection by the City Council, I will now go ahead and close public participation. We'll go ahead and do a summary for the interpretation, please.
I'm here to talk about the same, my name is Rogelio Rodriguez, I'm here to talk about the same subject, that we want you to put on the ballot a measure to see if the community wants marijuana or not. You are going to bring it because you won't answer us. Marco has talked about how marijuana could help our low-income community, but we don't want kids who are addicts at 12 and 13. I'm glad people can hear what we're asking. We want just a yes or no on the ballot. You don't want it because you are with the person who brings these businesses to cities, but what changes do you see in those cities? Lives destroyed, kids who are addicts, and nobody's talking about bringing rehab centers to the community. The community is smart, but you want to bring the marijuana in and ruin their brains. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to council member comments. Councilmember Epstein.
Thank you, Mayor. I know that we have some issues with the price gouging on certain products. Are we doing everything necessary that the city can do to ensure that businesses in our city are abiding and not price gouging certain items that pertain to the coronavirus?
Councilor Russell, I believe what we've been doing is posting via social media avenues for residents to take if they believe that there's been price gouging. The agencies, I think it's Department of Consumer Affairs, looking for, I have a Ida, do you want to talk about some of the specifics of what we've been informing residents on what they can do via social media, if they identify price gouging?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Yes, so, since I've been in charge of the social media account, so I've been reposting all the information that's been posted by numerous agencies, including California agencies as well as LA County agencies. We do have the notice that was posted last week also includes information on infographic on for consumers. So in cases they feel that they've been targeted for price gouging, they'll be able to call a number. So it is on the news section of the city's website as well as on our numerous social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can find links on all of them on the city's website as well.
Councilmember Rossestino, also, I think tomorrow I'll meet with our community development director to see if there's anything we can do as far as, in addition to just letting residents know the avenues they take, maybe there's a way that we can make contact with our business community, to ensure that we take it seriously and that we want to see our residents protected. And, I think we can I can report back offline on that as far as any activities that we can come up with that make it effective and, again, hitting it from the other angle, making sure the business community understands that the city's here to advocate for residents from that perspective.
Also, is there a possibility, since we're having community events such as this, where folks come and just for their safety and their loved ones' safety as well, if we can have some hand sanitizers, products on our facilities where we have meetings such as this?
Yes, Councilman Rossestino, I'll let, I think our Recreation Community Services Director, since, her facilities that she manages have a lot of activities going on a regular basis. I'll let her talk, and then we can make sure to redouble our efforts here at City Hall as well.
Councilman, we have moved our hand sanitizing stations into the forefront. We've made sure that they're all full. We've also made wipes and the other whatnot, the Lysol, the antibacterial soaps in the restroom facilities, making sure that there's hand towels. We also put signs up in some of the restrooms telling people to wash for 20 seconds. Just a reminder at both the two community centers, the senior center and the youth center. And so also the recreation leaders have instructed children how to interact with each other, the elbow bumps, those type of things. So we are trying to be as proactive as possible, but we have moved all of the hand sanitizing stations to the direct forefront where everybody congregates at all of the registration areas and in the community centers.
Thank you for that. No further questions.
Councilor Martinez. And, okay, just on that note, Mike, I know people have had conversations about starting to live stream our meetings. In the given, situation that our residents can no longer make it out to the meetings because of the outbreak or even for future situations, can we start looking into different venues and then maybe possibly present it to council in terms of live streaming via YouTube, so that, our residents can view the meetings from home? I know other cities, would that be a possibility?
Yes, Mayor Cortez, I'm looking at our IT contractor. I sent an email out earlier today about, at a minimum, getting the video of the agenda. We have that technology available, and getting them posted the next day, if not that evening. So if somebody wasn't able or chose not to attend the meeting, at least they'd be able to see the activity of it immediately. There's a little more that goes into the live streaming as far as setting up a YouTube channel and things of that nature. So there would be some costs associated. We bring that to the council. But in the meantime, we're looking for at least being able to post the meeting, within 12 to 24 hours of the meeting ended, for those that chose not to attend. So short answer is yes to live streaming, and yes also to having a list of all the previous meetings.
Perfect, thank you. I did want to mention that you're doing a fantastic job with the census. You've been putting in a lot of work. And today I was pleasantly surprised as I was driving down Granger, I believe, and there's maybe 4 houses that have census signs on their gates, and I love that. So I know you've been putting a lot of work, posting a lot consistently, even on your weekends, on our social media site, so thank you for keeping our community informed and doing the work that you do every single day. And on that note, reminder for everyone, tomorrow is our Central Feria, which Hylas has been working very hard on, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So come out and join us. Lastly, just for our director, and maybe, my colleagues can join in on, later on. With regards to the pageant, if we are seeking to bring it back this year again, I do want to repurpose our pageant. And given that today we celebrate and we established that it's Women's Month and that we're celebrating 100 years of being able to vote, I think this would be a fantastic idea to move away and to start even moving away more from the beauty concept and more towards an intellectual strength, resiliency, grit type of concept for our girls. And I do want to incorporate all the different female figures that have created an impact in the last 100 years. And even before that with the women's movement, the Seneca Falls Convention, all these different women who have impacted and even to the day continue to impact and break barriers. So I would just like to offer that as a suggestion, and then maybe take that into account when we're creating the pageant. Hopefully my colleagues can support me if we do decide to move forward, but I think we'll talk maybe a little bit more about that when we do our budget retreat to see if it's something that we'll be allocating funds to. But just before I forget, since today we celebrated Women's Month. And on that note, to all of our female employees, thank you so much day in, day out. And I also appreciate all of our male employees, but this month is about us. Thank you so much for the work that you put in every single day that you come to work, and even when we're making requests. And please pass that along to your own respective female employees under you. And happy Women's Month in the City of Bell Gardens, and happy belated International Women's Day. And on that note, if there's no objection by the City Council, I would love to adjourn today's meeting in honor of all the women. Thank you.